Guess what the most dangerous trend is in the Gambia right now? Are you thinking drifters? Well, it's not drifters. The most worrying trend in the Gambia right now is the massive surge of expired food items and counterfeit medications flooding the country. The Gambia has seen a massive influx of expired food items in recent years, with more and more Gambians becoming ill. These imported food items always appear to be in date only to find expired food after opening the food container. This has become a normal occurrence, with the government aiding the situation instead of standing against it. And now the ubiquitous nature of expired food products and counterfeit medications has reached a dangerous level, with more Gambians expected to fall ill. But how do we have an influx of expired food in the Gambian market? I know most of you are thinking about corruption, but here is the thing. There are three demographical spikes no one seems to be talking about that are fueling the surge of expired food products and medications in the Gambia. Let's take a deep dive. Every day, the public complains about expired, substandard, and counterfeit food and medications flooding the Gambian markets. We have said it many times before, and we remain convinced beyond all reasonable doubt that imported food and drugs are among the leading silent killers in this country. Take this image you're seeing, for example. A young woman bought this can of corned beef just last night. At first glance, it looks fine. The expiry date reads 27th October 2028, but she was shocked after opening it. Did you know that since President Barrow took office, not a single person has been prosecuted for importing or selling substandard food? We have received lots of complaints from the public stating the following. The Gambia has the most useless food safety authority in the world. Most of the staff are corrupt. They take bribes from importers to allow fake, expired, and harmful products into our markets. Worse still, they further went on to reveal there's no functioning laboratory in the country for proper food testing. They inspect food by looking, tasting, and touching, not science. Most processed food in supermarkets has fake labels and manipulated expiry dates. The best advice we would give to the Gambians right now is this: eat fresh, avoid canned junk, drink clean water, not soft drinks, and always read the label. The Gambia Market Union has raised alarm over a recent massive influx of expired goods into commercial hubs like Serekunda and Farafenni markets. Vendors, especially hawkers, have been seen distributing low-cost food items, such as canned drinks, tomato paste, and juice packets, for as little as 1/5 of their usual price. For example, 50 Dalasis drinks sold at 10 Dalasis, suggesting the items may be expired or otherwise substandard. This widespread circulation of dubious goods poses serious public health risks, particularly for children. One particularly notorious area is dubbed the Expired Junction in Serekunda, known for the proliferation of off-date consumables. In response, the Gambia Market Union and consumer advocates have urged the Food Safety and Quality Assurance Authority to conduct regular inspections and raids to curb the sales of expired food, calling for proactive enforcement rather than reactive measures. The Food Safety and Quality Authority of the Gambia is the sole national authority responsible for regulating the safety and quality of food and animal feed in the country, including imports and exports. All these expired food products are being brought into the country solely because the Food Safety and Quality Authority of the Gambia is not working. It is just a name without any form of tangible action to protect the dietary needs of the poor Gambians. This is going to be very concerning and even more deadly, considering the fact that the Gambia heavily depends on food imports for about 80% of the country's dietary needs. As highlighted by the World Food Program, this is definitely something very serious. On the pharmaceutical front, it's equally bad, if not worse, with the country experiencing a rise in expired and counterfeit medications. This issue is widespread. A recent systematic review covering Africa found that about 23% of medicine samples were substandard or falsified, and nearly 35% were unregistered. Antibiotics, antimalarials, and antihypertensives are particularly affected, as highlighted by the National Center for Biotechnology Information and the PMC. The World Health Organization estimates that globally, about 1 in 10 medical products in low- and middle-income countries fail quality checks, a risk that's especially high in Africa. The Republic of the Gambia is unfortunately equally prone to this phenomenon. The crisis hit a tragic peak in October 2022, when at least 70 Gambian children died after consuming cough syrups contaminated with ethylene glycol and diethylene glycol, imported from India by Maiden Pharmaceuticals. Despite accompanying certificates of pharmaceutical product, the products were dangerously tainted, a failure later investigated by a Gambia parliamentary inquiry. But why do we have a surge in expired food products and medications in the country? Let's look at 3 demographic spikes playing a humongous part in the surge of expired foods and medications in the Gambia. But first, this is a humble request to please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel. A Gambian-owned channel looking into the happenings of the motherland that are often ignored by the mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much, much appreciated. Now let's crack on with the first point. The first on the list is foreign food importers. One of the key factors leading to the uncontrollable spike of expired food products and counterfeit medications being imported into the Gambia is this: the dominance of foreign food importers in the country. The Gambian food import sector is overwhelmingly dominated by foreign nationals, who control the bulk of wholesale and retail supply chains. Many of these non-Gambians, coupled with the people they bribe, don't really care about the Gambian citizens. The only thing they care about is their profit margin, making profits at the expense of the Gambians. Despite the Gambia's significant agricultural workforce, about 75% of the population, the country still imports the majority of its staple foods, especially rice, sugar, cooking oil, and flour. Estimates show that 80 to 90% of rice consumed is imported, with India, China, and Brazil being key suppliers. These imports are largely handled by a small group of established foreign-owned companies, many originating from South Asia, the Middle East, and West Africa. Control of major import channels by non-Gambian actors allows them to influence pricing and distribution, sometimes leading to inflated costs for consumers. Foreign dominance is reinforced by strong international supplier networks and capital reserves, which local traders often find difficult to match. In urban markets like Serekunda and Brikama, foreign wholesalers lease warehouses and control bulk storage facilities. This market capture reduces opportunities for local entrepreneurs to expand into large-scale importing. It also creates dependency on foreign-controlled supply lines, leaving the Gambia vulnerable to global price shifts and shipping disruptions. Foreign importers often leverage their established logistics chains to undercut smaller Gambian traders on price. Such dominance can also complicate enforcement of food safety standards, as oversight of large, internationally connected supply networks is more difficult. There have been documented cases where expired food products, imported through these channels, reached the market without adequate inspection. Similarly, counterfeit or substandard packaged goods can enter the country when regulatory monitoring is weak. The government has occasionally called for increased Gambian participation in the import business, but local capacity remains limited. Without targeted policy support and investment, foreign nationals are likely to maintain their stronghold over the nation's food imports for the foreseeable future. The second factor is the government's play to my rules game. Now let's face it, the Gambia is a country where hard-working people trying to distance themselves from shady dealings get removed from their positions. If you are abstaining from shady dealings, they automatically view you as someone blocking their way. So the best thing will be to remove you from your position and bring in someone who will play to or be a part of their backdoor dealings. This is mostly common at the government level. The government of the Republic of the Gambia knows this tactic very well. The Gambian president has been busy replacing important people in top establishments. Looking at the likes of the Independent Electoral Commission, the Gambian Parliament, the judiciary or the justice system, and even at the Food Safety and Quality Authority. Let's go back to November 2018. Best Water was withdrawn from the market for failing basic hygiene requirements. The owner? One of the wealthiest Indian businessmen in the country. Less than 2 months later, the Food Safety and Quality Authority announced that the product was safe again. Not long after, the authority's Director General Zainab Jallow was removed from her position. So you see, if you, the then Director of the Food Safety and Quality Authority, saw that the water wasn't fit for consumption due to some hygiene concerns, she was removed from her position of Director of the Food Safety and Quality Authority by trying to do her job of looking after the health of the Gambians. After her removal, this same water was allowed back into the market. We all know what needs to happen. a complete decentralization to curtail the power of the president, to remove the IEC, the justice system, the parliament, and many more state-owned establishments from the powers of the president to ensure safety and fairness. This is a polite reminder to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. The third factor leading to the influx of expired food products and medications is Gambians not taking the initiative enough. More and more Gambians need to follow the footsteps of African Pacific by venturing into the food import business model. This needs to happen to bring in the foods we want to eat and not the foreigners. This needs to happen until we are able to produce it by ourselves, after which all imports of food should stop. This will tackle the dominance of foreign players in the food imports business. Most importantly, it will drastically reduce the influx of expired food products and medications we are noticing in the Gambia.